His name is Michael Hastings. Armed only with my family tree and my increasing obsession with the subject, I went to tell the man who should be King Michael I the good news. As I drove into Jerilderie, New South Wales, population 1100 plus one king, I began to realise how daft this might look. I knew he was in town. I'd phoned him from Britain and told him we were looking into the descendants of the Plantagenets, but otherwise King Michael was in the dark. .74. 12,000 miles, 2.5 days and a lot of jet lag, and I'm finally here. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how to play this. I mean, if someone turned up on your doorstep and said, "Excuse me, do you know that you're the King of England?" you'd be a bit surprised, wouldn't you? Particularly if they had a director with them and a sound man and a cameraman. So I think what I'll do is I'll just talk to him about some of the facts first of all, relax him a bit, and then hit him with the real import of what we've got to say at the end.
G'day.
Hello, Michael.
Yes, come on in.
I'm Tony Robinson.
Hello, Tony. How are you?
This is our camera crew.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Would you walk?
Not from England, no. Michael, the reason that we've come over is that we've been doing a lot of research on the Plantagenets, of which you are...
one, yes.
A very distinguished one.
Very distant one too.
Just looking at the top bit, see, the kings of England, starting with Henry II and further back right to William the Conqueror and beyond that to Alfred the Great. I went over the now familiar pattern. Wars of the Roses, Clarence, Henry Tudor, and of course the missing link in the royal chain. All of that's okay, except that we now believe that Edward IV was himself illegitimate. Which means that Elizabeth was illegitimate, Henry VII was illegitimate anyway, so this whole Tudor dynasty is built on a lie. It means that you are the rightful King of England.
Well, there you go.
How do you feel about that?
Bloody awful, isn't it? I don't. Bit of a shock, isn't it? Bit of a shock.
Has it ever crossed your mind before?
No, it hasn't actually.
But you knew you were a Plantagenet.
Well, yes, I just said, oh yeah, well you go back so far and you, somewhere along the line, you're a Plantagenet, you know. But I didn't think it would work. Well, I didn't know anything about this bit, the illegitimacy bit.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It turned out that Michael also had a family tree. He wanted to check my research, which luckily seemed to match completely.
There's
Theophilus.
Yeah, 1729 to 1789.
And then he had a son and a daughter, Frances. They were all there. Margaret the Martyr, Lady Flora, our gambling Henry X, as well as Michael's nearer relatives. She'd have been Edith I.
12th Countess, yeah.
Then...
That's my great-grandmother.
That's your great-grandmother. That's your mother, Barbara.
Barbara Huddleston Henry Hastings.
Barbara would have been Barbara I.
She died last year.
Strictly speaking, Michael isn't Mr. Hastings. He's a peer of the realm. You are an Earl yourself, aren't you?
Yes.
What?
Loudon.
Earl
of Loudon. I came over here in 1960, and I inherited. At that stage, I was Lord Morcland because my mother was still alive.
Yeah.
She had the title. Then last October, she died. I was in England at the time and she died.
Yeah.
And I inherited her title. And then my oldest son inherited mine.
So if you're an English lord, what are you doing over here?
I love it over here. I came over here when I was 17. 1960, and I just love it over here. I married here, I have 5 children, 5 grandchildren, and a wonderful life.
But what Michael hadn't twigged was that as King of the United Kingdom, he'd also have the remnants of an empire, including Australia.
They're looking for a new Governor-General at the moment.
It's quite serious in a way, though, isn't it?
Well, it is, really. It depends, well, it depends how seriously you take it. You see, I believe that Australia should be a republic. I'm not a mad monarchist.
So in the referendum, how did you vote?
For a republic.
So you'd have been voting against yourself, had you
Well,
been...
yeah, I suppose I would have done if I... Well, I might have voted different.
Two of Michael's daughters also live in Jerilderie. Princess Rebecca and Princess Mandy, with the young Prince Riley, took a bit more convincing than their father had done.
All the way down to here, to your grandmother, Barbara, which means that when Barbara died, Michael...
Became King of England.
You're right.
Became the true King of England.
This is the King of England, which means that you two are princesses.
It doesn't mean, like it does mean, but really.
You've got to remember, this lot aren't just going to step aside and say, here, take over.
Well, I don't know, if you've got an army together, maybe This is real stuff. This is real, proper...
We are the true... family of England.
It does not mean we're not believing people, but...
OK, you want the facts. There's only one way to guarantee the facts, and that is via DNA. Would you be prepared to let us have a little piece of your hair, and we can run the DNA check and make sure that this is true? The history is very vague. Charles is true. Have you got a pair of scissors?
I don't know, Dad, if you're good enough hair. He needs all the hair he can get.
It was more hard work. I could just take the ponytail.
Oh, you could, yes, but, well, no.
I'm going to laugh if it turns out wrong. Someone's been playing up somewhere.
Take my natural colour.
Goodness, where do you want me to take it from?
In my naivety, I thought you could get DNA from any old hair. Actually, you need the root and gloves. But they humoured me. So there I was, after half an hour, messing about with people whose blood gave them more right to the throne than starchy old Prince Charles.
There we are. That's royal hair, that is.
That I'm a little prince.
Do you think...
That's funny.
Do you think you are a little prince?
No,
Why not?
because no.
So we've got Prince Caleb, and what are the other children?
Isabella.
And,
Jet.
Princess?
Prince.
Prince Jet.
That will be a new
He's a
one.
21st century prince.
He's a card, yeah, and Zach.
Prince Zach and Prince Jet.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And Riley.
And what was your mum's name?
Nolly.
No, it's a pity that she's not alive now. So Nolan.
Very. She would have been
was
just...
Queen
oh.
Nolan. That would have been so lovely.
I won't even say what she would have said.
Because she can't say it on the television.
Yeah, no, she wasn't really into it much at all, was she, Kate?
Up until that moment, my quest had been a bit of a game. But meeting Michael, I really liked the sheer normality of his life and was actually rather touched by his bluff republicanism. I began seriously to think about not only what he'd lost, but also what he'd gained by not being King of Britain. Not Balmoral, not Sandringham, not Windsor, but Jerilderie in Australia, home to Britain's real monarch. Because if you think this is the royal family, think again. According to my calculations, this should be King Michael I, and his family include Simon the alternative Prince of Wales, Marcus, Lisa, Princes Jet, Zach, Caleb and Riley, not forgetting little Princess Isabella. Queen Elizabeth II's day is planned minute